Hey everybody, it's Lisa back with a real quick video. I wanted to talk a little bit about sovereignty and the importance of trusting what you know to be true. So once upon a time, I worked with a teacher who taught me so much of what became the foundation of the work that I did in the world. And I really looked up to her and I revered her. And then some like wonky stuff happened and I knew it was time to step back. But periodically, I check in just to see what's going on, what she's teaching about, what she's talking about. And one of the things that she talks about is recently, as a matter of fact, is that there are certain divine beings that you've been told to trust, but for whatever reason, she's determined that they're not divine or they're not helpful beings. I wish I could put words to this face, right? But one of the beings in there was the Blessed Mother, Divine Mother Mary. And I got to thinking, like, why would you tell someone, trust these beings and don't trust these other beings? And I've made this determination, these are ones that are doing harm. I seriously, I have no words. I'll use words, but I have none. First of all, the important thing is you determine what beings you wish to work with. So if she's chosen not to work with the Blessed Mother for her own reasons, that's fine, that's her business. But you get to choose, and you choose based on what you feel, what you know, what you intuit through your inner knowing. That's where it all has to come down to. So if a divine being shows up and the energy doesn't feel right to you, or the guidance feels off, I've not really ever experienced that, but it's possible, I suppose. You have the ability to say, no, thank you. No, I choose not to work with you. And I feel like, you know, that's certainly this previous teacher's choice for herself based on her own inner knowing. But to come straight out, she had a whole list, not beyond the Blessed Mother. And I was furious because nobody gets to decide for you or me who you work with, period. That's it. It's based on your inner knowing. And I think she's doing a grave disservice to her students, to the people who follow her, who look up to her, to come out with something so black and white about trust this person or trust this being and don't trust that being. That's not how it works. It's really not how it works. So if you ever come across something like that, where they say, work with this list, but don't work with this list, use your inner knowing to see what's true for you. I work with the Blessed Mother all the time. I've never, not once, ever felt anything other than pure unconditional love from that energy, ever. So for me, when I read that, I thought to myself, what's been my experience of that? My experience has been unconditional love, period, end of story. So I use my sovereignty to say, I'm going to keep working with that divine being because I know what I know. Now, you may not know what you know as well as I know what I know, but the proof is really in the guidance and what happens when you put that guidance into action. So if, for example, and you all know I work with Prince on the regular, 24/7. He's my dude. We are a team. I love him with all my heart. And there are times where he will tell me, go do this thing. And I do, because I trust him and I trust his guidance. And even in the beginning, I trusted that guidance. But even if I didn't, if you take that guidance and you go do something with it, and beautiful things emerge from that, then trust that guidance. That's been the case with every single thing I've worked with Prince on. He's encouraged me to reach out to people. I don't know if you remember my talking about Michael Dean of the Prince podcast, and how Prince like dropped that name down in front of me and I had no idea who he was. And Prince was like, go talk to him. Right. And I did, because I trust Prince. And something so beautiful came from that, beyond what I even imagined it would. So the proof is in, when you receive the guidance, one, what's the feeling? Does it lift you up? Does it cause you to expand? Does it make you feel good? Okay. And when you take action on that guidance, when you move in accordance with that guidance, what happens? You know, does everything fall to crap, or do things kind of generally open up? Is there a good feeling? Are good things coming from that? That's always the trick, right? What's that saying? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the guidance. Always in the guidance. So, and again, I'll just caveat it all with the fact that I have never not once in my almost 20 years of working with guides and teachers in a close way, have I ever experienced, no wait, one time I did, but that was only because the guy that I was reading was tripping on LSD unbeknownst to me. And so I did run into some junk, and I just called in Archangel Michael. I'm like, you got to get rid of this mess. And he did. Poof, done. And I remember at the moment not even thinking about, it was like, this energy has got to go. And I remember I stood up, and I had my Archangel Michael sword. I put my sword down, and I was like, this energy will go. It will go right out. And it did. Poof. But other than that one experience, because of that weird thing, I've never had an experience where I've trusted and taken action and everything's flown apart in a bad way. So whether they say they're a teacher or not, whether I say I'm a teacher or not, it doesn't matter, right? You take that bit of information and you work with it. Bring it here. Bring it to your inner knowing, and you work with it in your way. Never, ever take someone's guidance like that as the truth. It is her truth. She doesn't frame it that way, but it is her truth. It's not, does not have to be yours. So in this era of gaslighting and people telling you that what you see with your own eyes isn't what's going on, that's why I encourage you to always come back to what you know to be true. Okay, that's it. That's my rant for the day. I just had to get on. As you can tell, I got household hair. Look at those roots. But I just had to get on and say that because it was really bugging me. And I want you to use your sovereignty, use your inner knowing, more important than ever. And you're going to need that when you go forward. Okay, I'm going to go back to what I was doing.